So kalau kita tengok this one sebenarnya last time this took it as in class assignment, but for this semester I don't plan to use this soalan so I will create another soalan lah, tapi but after all everything done baru saya nak give you one assignment. For now masih because the syllabus still not completed, so tak boleh lah nanti bagi assignment pun tak boleh nak jawab. So I think better lah saya tunggu dulu untuk beberapa hari before I give you. Maybe I will give you during weekend bila idea tu ada, but the submission date bukanlah short notice ataupun urgent. Maksudnya saya akan bagilah ample time for you to prepare for the assignments. So okay, now let us look at this problem. Okay, if you see in this problem dia ada bagi dia ada show us the figure represents the problem lah. As well, this one kan ini adalah additional. Ini saya cari daripada internet to help you to understand the whole picture of this problem. So let us read first before I explain about this. This one we call it as heat exchanger. Kalau you learn during your thermodynamics, applied thermodynamics, heat exchanger is used to what? To exchange heat, between two fluids. Sometimes the fluid different properties, ada some fluid same properties but different temperature difference. That is why we call it as both fluids exchange heat. Okay. So now let us read the problem. Dia kata cooling. Kalau tak dengar atau putus-putus bagi tahu telefon okay apa-apa pun saya cakap semangat tiba dah putus. Okay. Cooling water available at 8 degrees Celsius is used to condense steam at 30 degrees in the condenser of a power plant at a rate of 0.12 kilogram per second by circulating the cooling water through a bank of okay, of 5 meter long, 1.2 cm internal diameter thin copper tubes. So this is the tube. Tube ni kalau dekat sini, this is the tube. Can you see the tiny line here? This is tubes, a bunch of tubes made of copper. Okay, made of copper. So kalau we look at this, so dia kata these tubes, water enters at 8 degrees and the velocity of the water is 3.5 meter per second. So this representnya yang kecil-kecil ni this one. Okay. So now this water, cold water 8 degrees C, kemudian ada steam over the tubes, 30 degrees Celsius. So sekarang kita baca balik. Water enters the bank, okay. So the tubes are nearly isothermal. So can you understand what is isothermal? Janganlah begitu. Isothermal meaning that the TS is constant. Isothermal sama suhu. Iso mean constant. Thermal is for temperature. So the temperature is constant. The surface temperature is constant at 30 degrees Celsius. Okay. So determine the average heat transfer coefficient. Heat transfer coefficient. So we cannot discuss lagi about this problems. You know why? Agak-agak tahu tak sebab apa? Jauh lah benda ni. Sebab saya belum ajar. Boleh ke kita buat sesuatu yang saya belum ajar? Tak boleh kan? So saya tak nak lah saya mengajuk saya pergi ke sini. I think this one is, sekejap saya tengok saya ajar ke tak? Kalau saya, okay saya tak ajar pun boleh. Sorry. Okay tengoklah ni sebab after the meeting and then my brain masih carry away the meeting. So saya tak fokus kat sini. Okay. Sekarang saya fokus, saya try. Okay, now sorry ya guys. So now, okay, still we can solve this problem. Okay, So determine the average heat transfer coefficient between the water and the tubes and the number of tubes needed to achieve the indicated heat transfer rate in the condenser. Okay, sekarang kalau you lihat solution ni, you all ada tak benda ni dalam you punya lecture notes? Ada, okay. Kalau ada cantik, because can you see saya dah help you in apa orang kata arrange the step ataupun procedures to solve this problem systematically, step by step. First, you should do this. This is mana dia? This is the first thing you should calculate. And then this is the second you should calculate. This is the third one. This is the fourth. And this is the fifth. And finally, you get the H. Nampak tak di situ? So sebenarnya sebab assignment ni memang assignment membantu pelajar nama dia. Okay, memang macam ni lah dalam kelas saya buat. After saya bagi problems, saya ajar first you should calculate M dot. Why do you need M dot? Because from this M dot you can use it to calculate Q dot. Meaning that the heat the heat transferred due to the water. Water ni kan dia cold, and then when it exits the tube, the temperature increases. Can you see? Because the heat from the steam transferred to the water, so that the water experience heating process. Okay, so how to determine the heat transferred? The heat transfer due to the steam. That is Q of the water sama dengan M dot of the water, and then specific heat of the water times T exit minus T inlet. Can you see this? So to determine this one is not mass. Ini apa ni? This is velocity. Yeah, the unit is meter per second. Okay. So to determine Q dot of water, you need to determine M dot first. So because of that, this is the formula to calculate the M dot. Boleh? Faham tak? Okay. So sebab apa saya, okay. Because the reason I want to determine H, betul? Okay, because Q, can you see the Q is due to the water is equal to the Q from the steam. Betul tak? And then the Q of the water tadi tu lah Q. Okay, sorry, saya padam balik. M dot water, CP water, T exit, T inlet of the water is equal to H. Steam nampak tak dia mengalir dekat belah luar? Can you see the steam? So the surface temperature, the interaction, this is the convection. So because of that H, surface area, T of the surface, and T of the surface, T of the steam minus T of the surface. Salah. Yang ini bukan yang ini. Ini mana? What is this? Remember tak? Apa ni? Delta T L N. What is delta T L N? This is. Okay. So what I mentioned just now, to get this, we must first determine the M dot. So to determine the M dot, we have to use this equation. Rho of the water times cross-sectional area of the tube times the velocity of the water. So, after that, saya tak ada jawapan kan? Macam mana nak dapat jawapan? Sebab ini assignment, bukan saya tak ada pengiraan dia. So, you want to help me to calculate? Boleh. Barulah belajar dalam kelas hari ni. Ada interaction. Okay, saya bantu saya bantu, meaning that the m dot, bukan the m dot, so the v is 3.5 meter per second, and then the cross-sectional area is given atau tak? I think it provides the diameter. That is, berapa diameter dia? 1.2 cm, yeah? So 0.012 meter. And then times, itu dia punya diameter. Tetapi kita kena kira pi divided by 4. This one you have to calculate. Pi 0.012 divided by 4. So you must give me the answer. Apa dia punya cross-sectional area of this tube?
(1.131).
Darab berapa tak? 1.131 times ada time berapa
Exponent
tak?
negative 4.
The square. Right. Good. So now the V average also given, and then the rho. So how to determine the rho? Because rho is not given in this problem. You have to find it where? From a table. Okay. So from this problem, which table to be referred to? Kalau tengok, okay, which temperature to be used? Okay, this is saya ada tak tulis dekat mana-mana how to get the delta, the ni. Okay, so this is water. So bila water, ni nampak tak saya ada bagi. Table A, 9. Okay, the properties of water at the average temperature 8 degrees plus 22. So you get 15, and then based on table, this table, go to table A 15 at berapa tadi suhu dia? 15 degrees. So 15, this is 15. So you will get the density is 1.225, and then the CP is 1007. You all kena tengok the unit, please remember the unit, very important. Okay, so mana tadi? So the density is 1.22, betul ke? Ada 5 ke tadi? Ada 5 ke? Saya macam 1.225 kan? And then the CP is 1007 joule per kilogram Kelvin. So based on these two, you can determine the heat rate for one tube. Okay, so jadinya tadi, that is the, saya tak kira lagi m dot, let us, okay, kita kena kira m dot dulu. So how to calculate m dot? So your m dot okay, tolong someone kirakan berapa? Ada tak someone tolong help me to calculate this?
(4.849) negative 4.
Oh, darab 10 negative something.
Yes,
Betul
yes.
ke? 4.8.
Jawapan sama dah tu?
Betul ya?
Sama.
4.8, saya
4.849.
4.849.
Negative 4.
So the unit is kilogram per second. Saya check betul. simple je kan. Velocity 3.5 is okay. Small. So okay, after that you can calculate your Q. Betul kan? Sebab we need the Q so that we can calculate the H after this. Okay, so your Q is 4.85 10 negative 4. C tadi berapa? 1007 joule the unit. Then the TE is 20 and then the TE is 8. Okay, and then the final unit is joule because we use this one. The unit is joule per kilogram Kelvin. So what is the answer? Kalau ada siapa yang nak kira? .85 Ada siapa yang dah dapat jawapan? Anybody? Yeah. Oh, CP tadi from this table 15 degree kan? Sebab saya sebut tadi we are based on average temperature. Average temperature of the water. Sebab kita internal kan? Internal, so kita nak lihat dalam ni inside the tube. So what is inside the tube is water. So that is why you have to refer to table A9. And then, so what is the temperature? Inlet 8 degrees and outlet is 22. So to get all the properties, thermal properties, must be based on average temperature. That is 15. So based on that, table A, saya salah tengok table Kalau dapat soalan tak ada siapa tegur sampai hati. Ingat je saya tulis cantik. Siti, you tadi nak test saya ke nak apa sebenarnya kan? Tolonglah kena penampar ambos. Dia buat test saya Sepatut saya test you Saya ni buatlah, manalah saya tak tengok table tau sampai hati. Saya tak nak kawan nak. Ni table A9 kali ni. Siap you all amboi. Kecil-kecil dah pandai nak test orang kan. Ni 15 kan? Ini betul kan? Patutlah jawapan halus. Saya dah rasa kenapa jawapan halus tapi saya diam je. Nak tunjuk macho lah konon kan. So punya salah table. Kan? So the 15. Okay, betul tak Siti? You check betul? Kan you tanya lagi siap. Saya boleh jauh kau dekat saya ketuk lah kepala. So okay, betul this table betul betul Alright, so boleh tak kira balik? Sorry lah, terpaksalah kira balik sebab dah salah value. So what is the ni the density is 999.1. Sebab itulah mana water? Satu fikir water mesti 1000 tau. Nampak tak? Okay, tak apa. Apa tadi? 999. Ada point yang jauh tak? Kalau tak payahlah. Okay, abaikan je lah. Kilogram per cubic meter. This is for water. And then what about CP? CP is 4.1 something usually. Okay. Ini sebab kita menggunakan joule, the value is 4185. Kalau kilojoule 4.185. Tapi terpulanglah you nak guna watt unit. So for us, let us use typical kita guna apa? 1.185 kilojoule per kilogram Kelvin or degree C, both can. Kemudian this one settle m dot 10. Okay, so what is the final answer? Can you help me? Because this are already wrong lah kan? So boleh tak kirakan untuk saya? So the m is memang very small, right? Oh salah, m dah salah. Why m salah? Kita pakai wrong density, right? So what is the right m dot? Based on the new density? 9 times 1.131 10 to the power of 4 divided by the dy. Kena jawab dengan the velocity is 3.5. Okay, what is the answer for M dot? Someone?
0.395.
And after that, from here, the mass is 0.395 times the CP is 4.185, and then the temperature 22 minus 8. So what is the final answer, guys? Siapa yang dah kira?
23.143.
Apa? 20?
23. 23.
20. Yeah.
23.143.
Oh lah ya. So kilojoule.
Oh. Okay.
Why kilojoule? Sebab we use kilojoule kan for the CP. So because of that, the unit is kilojoule. So okay, now done that. So we now want to equalize this heat with this one. Because we assume the heat transfer ideally received by another fluid. Okay, macam tu lah. Yang colder receive heat from the hotter fluid. Macam tu lah. Because they exchange heat. So for determining this logarithmic mean temperature difference, we will use this equation. I have discussed this in my previous lecture. So now saya suka pakai warna hitam bukan warna. So okay, based on that equation, tak hafal kan? TE minus TI ln TS. Okay, dia ada three different methods. Okay, nanti mungkin ada one, this one is correct as well. So delta T ataupun we usually denote that as delta T L M. That is T exit minus T inlet. And then divide by ln. Apa atas dia? T exit lagi ke T inlet dulu? TS. Okay, sorry. TS minus T. T apa?
Exit.
T.
TE.
Alright.
TS.
So another lagi TS.
Minus
Minus
TI.
TI.
Alright. So now your TE is we know. So based on this values given in this problem, TE is 22. TE 22, T in 8, and then ln. So TS is given as 30, right? And then TE is 22. Nanti awak tolong kira 30 T, sorry, 8 lah kan? 8. Okay, so what is the answer? Boleh dapatkan tak?
Negative 13.839.
Negative 13.8.
839.
84 lah ya, kita ambil degree Celsius. Negative. Okay. Then after obtaining that, we can substitute this value into yang tadi tu. Kalau kita tulis balik kan, Q is equal to CP, saya tulis balik je lah, tapi kita dah calculate just now. Is equal to H surface area tapi Ln. So we want to determine which value. We want to determine this value. So because of that, okay, so rearrange, and this one is equal to apa tadi? 23.14. 23.14 kilojoule. Okay, so 23.14 kilojoule lepas tu apa? Surface of the cylinder how to calculate the surface area of the cylinder?
Circumference time length.
Pi dl.
Okay, this is the L and then this is the D, right? This one is the D. So pi dl. So pi D is 1.10, sorry, 0.012 and then darab dengan L. 5, right? 5 meters. The length, right? 5 meters ke 5 cm? 5 meter panjang sangat tu. 5 meter long. Wow, very long tube. Okay, tak apa. So then, lagi? Nak buat apa lagi after this? Bahagi lagi dengan temperature kan, this one. Betul? Pandai. So negative 13.8. You mesti kata lah negative. Don't worry about negative. Kita boleh remove the negative. Don't include the negative in the calculation. Why? Agak-agak?
Difference.
Will change.
Temperature different.
No, yes, different. Tapi kenapa? Meaning that the heat transfer from where to where sebenarnya. Itu dia lah, tak ada
Inside
different.
to
Okay.
outside.
Inside
Yes.
to outside.
Yes, macam tu. Itu saja. Ya. So macam ni saya rasa itulah kan negative. Okay, because the temperature, right? So tak apa. So now what is the answer to determine H?
0.887.
Aduh, very small. Sebab salah nilai lah ni. Tak logik sebenarnya. 0.8. Tapi 23 tu you dah bahagi dengan 1000 ke macam mana? Let me check. Nanti, let me check.
Oh.
Nanti ini kilojoule. Yang
Belum
ini
bagi
3.
1000, doktor.
Belum bagi 1000 ya. Because H usually the value is per joule. Okay. Belum bagi 1000. Right. Okay. After if you divide by 1000. So the answer is 8 point. Berapa tadi? 8.87. Yeah. Okay. 8.87 watt per square degree C. Boleh, Kelvin boleh. Both gives the same meaning or answer. Faham tak? Senang kan? Okay. 1000 tu, tadi 24, tadi ini unit dia kilojoule. Okay. So now, bila you bagi dengan bagi dengan 1000 ke kali dengan 1000, you all ni lah. Sebab ni kilojoule kan? We have to calculate 1000 to change the unit, to convert the unit from kilo to joule. So that you will get the watt unit. Kalau yang 0.08 bla bla tu 0.2 is kilowatt. 8,000? Apa ni? Salah kira You salah kira. Okay. 8,000, okay. Cuba kira lagi sekali betul-betul. 23 tu kita change. Berapa dapat?
Saya dapat 887.
Yeah, logic. 887 logic because this is steam. Very high temperature. So it is realistic lah, realistic lah dia punya answer. 800 point, berapa tadi? Ulang.
887.
Yes, okay, 800. Valid 87 watt per square degree C. Right? Okay, tapi for this solution saya tak help you to do assumptions kan? But you must specify your assumptions. For instance, maybe you said the H is average H for the entire tube. Sebab H usually different at, yeah.
8,000 doktor, tinggal 1 point.
8,000.
Kan, okay. 8,870 ke?
Betul.
Ya.
Logik juga ni. Sebab steam memang dia punya H very high. The convective transfers. Because we are dealing with steam or hot. Steam kan 100 degrees and above kan? The temperatures. Faham Tetapi
Doktor,
walaupun kata tapi kenapa sini 30 kan? So 30 tu bila sampai when it reaches the tube's surface, tetapi awal-awal lagi dia memang tinggi the temperature values. Itu je lah dia punya answer lah ibu ask. Okay, apa dia?
Doctor, the heat transfer is from inside to outside or outside to inside?
Okay,
Ah,
kalau
okay.
case ini from outside to inside. Outside, this one is outside, right? This is inside. Can you see the heat, the liquid is lower. The temperature is lower than the given temperature here, kan? Nampak tak? So the heat
Nampak, Doktor.
ini 30, ini 8, sure lah dia akan transfer heat to the water. So because of that, the water temperature rises 22 degrees Celsius, kan? Due to the heat transfer process. Boleh eh? Kalau
Boleh,
dia
Doktor.
punya nilai tu macam sikit-sikit pelik tu bukan salah soalan, tapi the value selected tu lah sebenarnya mungkin ada salah sikit lah dekat situ. Yang lain semua betul dari segi method. Okay, now the second question. Okay, after the question ni kita done. Untuk at least saya dah lega dah dapat ni, and then next ni kita akan sambung untuk ni lah. Yang penting sikit-sikit janji you faham. Daripada banyak-banyak tak faham apa. Kan? You nak banyak-banyak ke nak sikit? Nak banyak saya boleh je sampai pukul 5 petang ni. Nak banyak saya okey? Saya tak dengar suara ke dah putus ni?
Ada dengar.
Saja
Ada,
je kan?
ada.
Jangan main kecil.
Terkaku.
Terkaku So you nak pukul apa ni sebenarnya? Terkaku nak pukul 5 ke nak pukul 1? Macam tu lah. Okay, tak apa. So now the second question based on this problem, dia kata determine after we obtaining the heat transfer coefficient. Okay, this. Okay, now the number of tubes needed to achieve the indicated heat transfer rate in the condenser. Okay. Mana dia? Dia ada bagi tak heat transfer rate kat sini? Okay. Yang itu tak penting because all the parameters dia dah given. Dia dah kat kita. So kalau kita lihat dekat sini, dia nak tahu determine the average heat transfer coefficient, dah settle, dan the number of tubes. Apa yang you calculate just now is only for a single unit of tube. So now, we want to know how many tubes do we need to to transfer the heat from the steam to the desired, to the final intended outcome lah. Yang saya pun saya nak tengah baca, saya ada tertinggal data mana-mana tu. Okay, tak ada. So now, kalau you tengok kat sini dia ada bagi satu value HFG 2431 kilojoule per kilogram. Do you know what is HFG? Ataupun we call HFG as heat of vaporization of water at 30 degrees Celsius. You all remember tak apa itu HFG? Alah, Siti tanya aku semua tak kena pelangkung ni. Okay, this is your TS diagram. I show you again. Kan, kita sekarang we recall back to your thermodynamics, applied thermodynamics at 30 degrees Celsius. Remember this diagram?
Yes.
Kalau tak ingat memanglah macam manalah boleh lepas. Okay, this is your, apa ni yang saya sedang lukis ni? Saya sedang lukis apa? Okay, this is me S. I will replace it with H. H dulu. Sebab tadi kita ada satu term HFG, betul? So HF dengan yang G dekat situ. Betul?
Betul.
Ingat?
Ingat.
So HFG, okay, HFG yang mana?
In between.
Bukan in between, the difference between G and
Difference.
F. Itu adalah HFG. HFG. Okay, HFG stands for apa dia? Tadi dia tulis dalam soalan tadi, heat of vaporization of water. Itu maksudnya HFG. Heat of vaporization of water. Meaning that, okay, heat vaporization. Apa yang you faham tentang vaporization? Apa bahasa Melayu apa Vaporization, meaning that the water,
Kondensasi.
Penyejatan.
kondensasi. Penyejatan lah, kondensasi, condensation. Penyejatan, vaporize, evaporates, tersejat. Faham So now kalau you boil water, so your water will transform from liquid to
Gas.
paper
Gas,
ataupun gas.
yeah.
Okay. When we say heat of vaporization, meaning that from liquid dia akan transform all the liquid to complete vapor. Itu
Okay.
maksud dia heat of vaporization. Maksudnya this one dekat at this point, the phase of the water is liquid. But after the process, this vaporization ni, sebab you kata HFG tadi, HFG, Hg minus HF. From this point to this point, all the water becomes
Paper.
vapor. So that we call it as heat of vaporization, HFG. Okay, itu maksud dia tadi. And when from the question, HFG is at 30 degrees Celsius is berapa tadi? 2000 berapa? Boleh tak seorang bacakan? 2000 berapa?
Dua, 4, 3, 1.
The unit is kilojoule per kilogram. Meaning that, okay, between HF and Hg, okay, enthalpy, H is enthalpy sebenarnya Okay, between these 2 points at 30 degrees Celsius, it uses 2,431 kilojoule of energy per kilogram to vaporize this water. Faham tak? Janganlah tekaku lagi.
Faham.
Sudahlah, tu nak tekaku sangat. Kecuali lah tak pernah ambil plat tebal. Faham tak? Okay,
Faham.
at 30 degrees Celsius, so the water needs energy. Energy must be transferred to the water in the amount of 2,431 kilojoule for each kilogram of the water to transform the water to vapor. Banyak tak energy? Kilojoule. I'm not talking about joule, I'm talking about kilojoule. A lot of energy. Kan? That is why banyak. That's why lah kalau steam power plant banyak guna fuel. Itulah maksud dia. Okay lah, kita nak cerita pasal steam power plant, kita belajar heat transfer. Okay, now, so what is the purpose of giving this value? Meaning that dia nak bagi tahu tau, because we need the energy. The vaporization from liquid to steam needs this amount of heat or energy so that it can happens lah, the conversion ataupun transformation between the from liquid to vapor. So the question tadi dia kata how many tubes can be used so that we can transform ataupun transfer the heat, the intended heat. Okay. Kalau you see this, okay, I don't want to distract you. Okay, Q total for the entire heat exchanger, this is the formula. Boleh?
Boleh.
Boleh.
Ya, mana? M dot condenser given, kalau saya not mistaken. Betul tak? Betul. Saya betul. Kalau saya salah tu saya saja je buat salah. Kan? Okay, tak apa. So now, we want to know how many number of tubes must be used so that we can do this heat transfer process effectively. So this is the formula. So you know the what? The Q total is actually the condenser, the condenser punya, condenser tu is steam lah actually the steam flow rate. Kenapa tadi saya kata steam? Can you see this heat exchanger? This is heat exchanger, the steam enters this heat exchanger at the mass flow rate of 0.12 kilogram per second. Faham ke tak? Itu sebenarnya. And then the HFG is the HFG of this steam that entering the heat exchanger. 2431 tadi. The thing that we are discussed before this the tube ni. Saya kerat satu and I zoom in. You understand or not?
Yes.
Okay, great. So now to get to know or to determine the number of tubes, first you have to determine how much amount of energy to be used to transform water to vapor. Betul kan? So after that, this is another formula, meaning that ada lagi tak solution nak tahu? Ini Q apa ni Q? Okay. Kejap, saya tahu Q yang mana. So your Q, this is your total Q. Yang tadi, this one total, let me write it big so that you know this grand total is actually the number of tube times what? The Q of the fluid. Tadi you can see the tube, the water flows into the tube and then the Q is what? M Cp delta T. Faham ke tak? This is the Q.
Q of water. Liquid.
Yes, yes. You know, because heat exchanger, steam comes in. Lepas tu, the water punya heat due to the steam, you dah kira, betul? So this,
Betul.
yang tadi steam tadi 2431 tu, HFG of the steam, not of the water inside the tube. Okay, because of that, you can calculate the N tube by rearranging this lah, so that you can determine the number of tube. So this one we call it Q water lah, to make it, to differentiate. Okay, this one Q total is actually Q of what? Kalau you boleh rasa Q steam lah kan, betul tak? Okay.
Q
Kalau nak-
water. Yeah.
Nak differentiate so that you will not get confused. Nampak tak? Saya tulis pun dah salah. Steam, S-T-E-A-M. So now I want you to help me to calculate Q, this Q. Okay, M dot is 0. Sorry. Aduh. Ke saya guna ruang lain? Saya guna ruang lain lah kan. Nak bagi jelas kan. So tadi Q steam is M dot of the steam lah tadi kan, times Q of the water. Okay. Ya betul, saya buat salah. Apa ni sebenarnya kat sini? H.
HFG.
Of the steam, betul? At 30 degree Celsius kan? Sebab tadi surface temperature steam tu 30 degree Celsius, betul? So we are considering that temperature. We are evaluating at that temperature. So now 0.12 times 2431. So apa jawapan dia And then this one is the unit is kilojoule per kilogram. So can you calculate? Mesti jawapan dia macam tak realistik.
291.72.
Okay,
291.72.
Ini kilojoule. Okay, biar dululah in kilojoule. Okay, so now to determine the end of the tube. Okay, tadi saya kata this Q, this big Q divide with Q of the water, betul kan? So this 291.71 kilojoule, saya have to include the unit so that you will not costly give your unit. Nanti. So this one is 24 kan? 24 ke 23?
23.
0.84. 85. Berapa? 85 ni. So what is the answer? So N tak ada unit because it's number of tubes. There's no unit. Berapa dapat? 23 pun apa tadi? Saya pun tanya.
23.14.
Okay, thank you.
N is 12.6.
14 ni kan? Okay, 12.6.
6.
Okay, if this is your answer, your final answer must be 12, not 13. Sebab pipe you tak boleh nak lebih. Kurang tak apa. Kan? Logically. So this is your final answer. Any question? Faham tak? Senang kan? Sebab di belakang ni ada lagi to stress out your understanding. Nampak punya banyaknya. Kalau tak faham juga tak tahulah saya. Boleh eh? Any other question? Nanti during Monday nanti this is the important part. Laminar flow in tubes and then yang ni lah agak suka kompleks lah. Saya macam risau. If you allow me to do lecture macam 1.5 hours, I'll be glad. Saya ni takut, bukan saya takut you akan marah ke tak. Saya kasihan ada student yang tak ada data, you know. Itu saja my reason why I always shorten my lecture. Faham eh?
Okay.
Okay, kalau dah macam emergency macam ni, you have to nak expedite the syllabus, I think I should lah. Okay? So, okay, kalau dah tak ada apa-apa, Siti, now saya bagi you sebagai you take charge the ni untuk ambil gambar. Sebab hari ni saya tak sempat nak prepare sebab bila meeting tu kita dah fokus kepada benda lain. So boleh tak? Yang lain tak ada okay. Nama-nama lah. Okay, nama boleh lah. Hari ni tak payah gambar lah saya sebab saya pun tak nak keluar buka gambar kan. To be fair. So ambil gambar Siti, berapa frame ada kat sini? Ni siapa bagi chat ni? Apa chatnya? Okay. Okay. Sudah cepatnya. Okay. Nanti you share ya dalam group. So okay guys, enjoy your weekend. So see you again next Monday. Okay? Alright, that's all. Okay.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Doctor.
Terima kasih.
Thank you,
Sama.
Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.